Yeah, I've got time.
So you're new to Warhammer 40k Darktide. Don't know where to start? That's okay, we've got you covered. In this video, I'm going to break down the first couple of steps that transition you from being a prisoner, from being a reject, into hopefully one of the Emperor's aspiring champions. Stay tuned. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have yet to pick up a copy of the game, I have a link down below in the description as well. Let's get started. All right, so you've made it to the bootloader, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, the cinematic playing in the background is dope. I want to hit that play button. I want to become the Emperor's champion. I want to fight for the Imperium of Man. But please, slow down, all right? The first thing that I want you to do is write in the settings. Right in the settings, there's a section at the bottom called Worker Threads. Now, feel free to play around with all of the options that are in here: quality, display, resolution, your vertical sync, all of that, okay? Please take time to pay attention to these elements, but above all, please, your Worker Threads section is extremely important. Now, there have been comments and there have been situations where the worker threads do need to be manipulated to allow your CPU to process the game more amicably, all right? Now, most people are able to back their worker threads off by 2. Some people are needing to back their worker threads off by 3 or even 4. Play around with it, jump into the game, but remember that this is there. Don't forget to come back and play with your worker threads to actually see what is helping you get the best frame rate. All right, moving on, we're going to go ahead and accept things the way that they are, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into this game. Are you ready? I'll see you up there. All right, so you finally made it into the game. You're finally there, and you have an option to create one of 5 operatives. All right, from this menu, you're going to create operative and then start the game. This is going to walk you through the character creation process. Depending on the unit type or class type that you pick, that is going to more carefully identify the type of experience that you're going to have. So let's go ahead and jump into that now. So you can pick from a veteran sharpshooter, a zealot preacher, a psyker, psykinetic, or a ogren skull breaker. Now, don't let the names and don't let the images scare you. These are all very relatable classes to all of us. We've played as all of these characters. So let me break it down for you. Veteran is going to be your Diablo basic rogue. Good at range, good at melee, doesn't really excel at either, but is good at both. Your zealot preacher, this one's a little bit tricky. I think your zealot preacher is actually going to be your barbarian. Great at melee, great at taking a beating, really puts some damage down range, but that damage does come in the form of melee combat. While they do get access to a selection of guns, the preacher excels at melee combat. The psyker psykinetic, this one is super easy, and I don't mean to insult anyone here. Your psyker psykinetic, that's going to be your sorcerer. Not necessarily excelling in any form of particular melee or ranged combat, psykers specialize in using their psionic abilities to deal damage to enemies. You know those kick-ass videos you've seen where the psyker squishes the mutant's head? Yeah, this is that psyker. Your Ogren Skullbreaker, this is the other one that is sort of tied for the Zealot Preacher with a little bit of a twist. The Ogren Skullbreaker, while a tanky character, is really more of your warrior class character. They put some damage downrange with a ranged weapon. They really do excel at melee combat, and they're quite a bit of a tank as well. But their melee combat is not comparable to the melee that gets put down by a zealot. That is why I've kind of undercut the Skullbreaker a little bit and just kind of made them your basic warrior class by Diablo comparison. All right, we're going to go ahead and select Psyker, Psykinetic, just because that's the one character I haven't made for myself yet, but I recommend plugging away and creating a character for each one of these if that's your flavor. I know some people are maybe only going to want to play one class, but I've played 3 of the 4 so far, and I've been impressed with how each one of them does play differently. Let's go ahead and jump into Psyker. All right, so playing through the character creation is really something that you are going to have to do on your own, but I just wanted to showcase a brief snippet of what you can expect. You have a couple of options to pick from through all of the selections. They've really tried to make this a broad selection for everyone who's a deep fan of the lore or anyone who's just looking to experience something new. So for your home world, you have 8 selections there. For your childhood as well, you have another 8 selections there. For growing up, you also have another 7 selections there. All right. Pushing into a defining moment, you have another 7 selections there as well. And that pushes you into the appearance portion of your character creation. Quite a few options as well to pick from. I am sure that more are going to come. And if there's anything that you don't like, don't worry. It's not locked in stone. The only thing that's locked in stone is the name. All right. We're going to go ahead and continue through on this. I'm going to randomize a character here. All right. I like her. She looks like last call at the bar, okay? The personality then pushes into the voice acting section of character creation. Personality is basically 3 voiceovers, and they all interact differently with the actual players that you'll be playing with in the matches, okay? You have the Savant.
I should have known the enforcers would not tolerate me forever. My skills they valued, but my nature...
I've dreamed many dreams before,
The
but
Seer.
never like this. They're normally nicer, with delicious food and...
It seems that no matter how low I set my
And the Loner.
expectations, it can always get worse.
This looks like her voice, so I'm going to go ahead and hit continue there. That's going to go ahead and push you into your sentence. What brought you here? What crime of the Imperium of Man brought you to where you're at right now? Now, because they're a psyker, I think the biggest sin that any psyker could do is misplaced faith. So I'm going to go ahead and snag misplaced faith for my psyker. And that is where you come up with the entirety of your story. Who are you? Who is your character? This is all pre-generated for you based on your decisions that you've made. I'm going to go ahead and randomize the name. I like that name, Majara. We'll go ahead and start the game here. I am going to go ahead and confirm and skip the prologue. I've done that, but please, you won't have this option, and the prologue is actually really quite good. I'll go ahead and see you on the Morning Star, though. Welcome to the Morning Star. The Morning Star is a Imperial frigate that you ride upon. This is where your drops come from, your missions come from, everything. Explicator Zola, I am going to be ignoring her. He saw a invite from a friend, and I did decline that invite just for this video. So starting out, you always start out here by these grand old doors, okay? These doors are the entrance into your new world. Straight ahead, we'll get there soon enough, but straight ahead you can see that's where the holodeck is. That holodeck, I apologize. That's where the holographic overlay is. That's where your missions are set. There's a couple of things I want to showcase for you first, just so that you know where they're at, and just so you know where to go. All the way over on the far left, you have access to the barber, okay?
I can make you so much better.
The chirurgeon, all right? This guy is going to allow you to modify your appearance. If there were any mistakes that were made, don't worry. Like I said, this guy is going to be able to take care of you. You can hop in and you can take care of anything that you need. The only thing you can't take care of is the name. The name is locked in, so please remember that, okay? So we're going to back out. We're going to just bolt right across the room here. This is where the armory exchange is. Now, we don't have access to it just yet, but you can see, looking through here, a handful of the weapons at your disposal. Up there on the top racks, you have full stock las guns. You've got a power hammer there as well in the center. You've got some flamers. You've got some heavy knives for the Ogren as well. And you also have more las guns there. And what is that? That looks like a bolt gun to me. There's armor helmets back there. You're going to be able to get access to all this stuff. Don't worry, all right? So this is where you're going to want to go to the armory exchange. Straight from the doors, you're just going to want to take a left, and you're going to bolt on down there, and that's where you're going to get your weapons. All right, so here we are at the doors again. Don't get lost. It's a big ship, but you know what? They've done a great job of making sure you can't get lost. This is Sire Melk's Requisitorium. We don't have access to that until level 11. Once again, we're a new character here, so we've got to earn some trust. That is how everything is founded. Now, once we get to level 11, Sire Melk is going to give us the opportunity to get additional tasks, additional form of resources by completing those tasks as well. He'll have some slightly better weapons and also some random weapons should you choose to go that route. Currently, the additional tasks that Sire Melk sets out for you are not shareable across characters. So if one of your additional requests is to kill 1,000 poxwalkers in melee combat, only my Psyker will have access to killing 1,000 poxwalkers in melee combat. None of my other characters will get access to that additional task, okay? I don't know if that is planning on changing anytime in the future. Currently, it is character locked, okay? But they do hear you. They hear the communities wanting that kind of stuff shared, but they haven't said it's going to switch yet. All right, we're going to go ahead and say bye to Sire Melk. We're going to bolt all the way over here. This is where you did your basic training, okay? This is the Psychanium. The Psychanium is where you can duck in, do your basic training, additional training, and the meat grinder. Meat grinder is really, really cool. Did you buy a new rifle, a new weapon, or a new sword, and you want to know how it works? Well, the Psychanium is where you can jump in and do that. You can jump right into the meat grinder, grab those weapons, and kind of find out what you like about them and what you don't like. All right, so we're exiting the Psychanium. We're going to bolt out of here, and we are going to check out the Tech Priest. This is Shrine of the Omnissiah. Requires a trust level of 4, all right? But this Tech Priest is going to be where you are able to upgrade and consecrate all of your weapons, okay? You bought a really, really cool rifle and you want to continue to upgrade it and make it the best that it possibly can be. This Tech Priest right there, she's going to be the one to help you sort that out, okay? All right, moving away from the Tech Priest, this is going to be where you select your missions. This is the mission terminal. This green emerald city that you see behind you, this is Tertium, okay? This is where we've landed after the outbreak of chaos that attacked our frigate. So we're going to want to go into view, and this is where we see all of our mission types. Now you can see up top, there's a global condition, and these war zone conditions end in 477 minutes. I believe that this cycles at about every 500 or 600 minutes. When that cycle comes to an end, all of these missions will disappear regardless of how much time is left on each and every one of them. Once those missions disappear, a new selection of missions will present themselves, all right? So currently we have a couple missions that we are capable of jumping into. We have a disruption mission, we have an assassination, we have a level 2 raid, and we have a level 2 assassination as well, with special victory conditions attached. Secondary objectives, recover scriptures. Yes, that's right. Just like in Vermintide, Darktide has secondary objectives, scriptures, art paintings, grimoires, all that fun stuff that we had in Vermintide 2 is carried over into Darktide, with the exception of art pieces. All right, so those are the missions that you have available to you, and as you gain additional trust levels, all of these will begin to increase. You can see at the bottom, this requires a trust level of 6 for this mission. That requires a trust level of 6. This one requires a trust level of 12. Now, my recommendation is please do not enter a level 3 mission until you are at least a level 15. A level 15 character can generally hold their own in a level 3 mission, but I would be remiss if I didn't stress a level 20 character will still get the shit knocked out of them in a level 3 mission. I don't even want to go and talk about level 4 missions yet, all right? Okay, so this is the Morningstar. This is your character. This is Darktide. This has been an introduction to Darktide by me, Lantern Nick of the 20-Minute Gamer channel. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear from you. Please drop a comment down below. Let me know what character you picked. Me, personally, my first was the Veteran. I've got another video that's coming out that's going to be weapons of the Veteran, and honestly, there's a lot. There's a lot of weapons there that I'm absolutely in love with. I can't wait to share that with you, and I can't wait to level this girl up as well. I will see you out there, rejects. Stay safe. Nick out.